Chelsea Football Club finally accept that Mauricio Pochettino might not be in charge at the end of next season and have started looking for alternatives. Ruben Amorim, we know the release clause. Fabrizio gives us the scoop, and it's the first sign of indication that this is a process, and this process doesn't have to include Mauricio Pochettino. We'll explain what Fabrizio says. Secondly, we start talking about Victor Gyökeres. He scored a goal yesterday. Benfica lost to Sporting. Everybody on my timeline was watching Portuguese football. Not only was their TV ratings going through the roof, but more importantly, we got to see the idea of what Ruben Amorim is and whether I've been exaggerating. He didn't fail the test. However, we're not looking at their number 9. Fabrizio confirms that too. Thirdly, we are going to give a preview. The preview for Chelsea versus Brentford. Brentford away has been absolutely horrible for Chelsea in recent years. The last 4 games, we have got 1 draw, 3 defeats. So it looks like they run West London. Well, at least that's what their fans tell me, the ones that I know. And more importantly, we've got the press conference from Mauricio Pochettino. News on Wesley Fofana, 2 players that are back from injury, Conor Gallagher's new contract, the goalkeeper we're going to select, and much more. You'd be silly to turn off right now because you made it this far. Clearly I've got your attention, and I'm gonna ask you guys for 2 quick things before we get started. Number 1, hit the like button. It's the best way of supporting the channel. Number 2, subscribe to the channel. And number 3, I said 2 but I meant 3. Let me know in the comments below, who do you believe is the right way to be Chelsea's manager 1st of September after the transfer window closes this year? Pochettino, Amorim, tell me your individual in the comments below. You know my stance. I'm not going to be here getting at Mauricio Pochettino because you already know my stance. So, right out the back, we need to talk about Ruben Amorim. Yesterday, everybody tuned in for the 2-1 victory of Sporting in the first leg of the semi-final of the Portuguese Cup to see what this potential Chelsea manager could be. They won. Very organized, very good performance, very Tuchel-esque in the way that he plays, very good with the 3 at the back, getting the midfielders involved, width, and yet the conversations today was, can Chelsea succeed? Is he the right man for Chelsea? Should Chelsea go after him? Well, Fabrizio Romano has come out with something very interesting on his YouTube channel. You can always go check Fabrizio out. Tell him I sent you, might get me a nice collab. But it is what it is. The reality is, Chelsea have got an end of year review. And this is the last time I think I'm going to speak about this because it's the clarity that people need. At the end of the year, they're going to sit down with Mauricio Pochettino. There's always going to be like a grading system. There'll be some objectives. Did we meet them? Did you do this? What are the circumstances why we didn't do it? And the reality is, Poch is going to have to fight for his job. He would have had to do it if he won all the games. He would have had to sit down and said, look, I've won all my games. I've met all my objectives. I should be staying on. And you know what? This is good. This is a 6-monthly review. What can we do better for you? What can you do better for us? If results don't go as planned, which they aren't at the moment, Chelsea will be interested in Ruben Amorim. He is on the list. He's also on Liverpool's list. He's also on Manchester United's list. He's also on Barcelona's list. But the reality is, and I think this is what people need to accept, Ruben Amorim is a top-tier manager. 70% win rate tells you that. Trophies at Sporting Lisbon tell you that. Organization and the evolution of his system tells you that. And he costs 30 million euros. There'll most probably be a negotiation fee because, if you didn't know, Sporting got him after 13 games at Braga and they paid 10 million euros to jump ahead of the curve to make sure Benfica and Porto couldn't get their hands on him. That's how good of a manager this geezer is. That's how top tier of a manager this guy is, that it took 13 games for them to realize, hold on, we need to get this guy and we'll pay 10 million euros. So Chelsea now know what they need to do. The clause is set. It is open sesame for everybody to see. It's an open market. Go and get your guy if you want him, or stick with Pochettino next year. We don't need to badmouth Poch. The story number 2 that I think is very interesting is regarding Victor Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres played in the Championship. I've told you that before. His numbers have not been good in the Championship. To the level that I think he has very disappointing numbers. People are going to say, yeah, he's got 1 and 2 for one of the years. And I don't even think he averaged that. Every other year, he was proficiently below that number. He was consistently below that number. He was absolutely putting up B-Tech numbers. Like, it wasn't respectable numbers at Coventry. And he was on loan from Brighton, and Brighton let him go. That's how mad it is. Brighton don't let players go of that caliber, yet they let him go. And what happened is, he went to Sporting and absolutely smashed it. And you know what? If you watched yesterday's game, he looked absolutely unbelievable. And I'll explain why he looked unbelievable. held the ball up, willing runner in behind, strong, athletic. The goal he scored, IQ very high, purely based on the fact that he outpowered the defender. He got around him. The smart decision is to go towards goal. That's what everyone would be coaching him, right? Go towards goal, get a shot off. He doesn't go towards goal. He carries on straight line to open up the angle. That is the super smart decision. That's the intelligent one. That, yes, gives defenders time to come towards him. However, he knew he had enough time and space to open up the angle, and he belted it in. He caused problems. He linked up play. A willing runner, works hard for the team. Phenomenal performance. This is something that he's been doing all year. Fabrizio has also said that he's got 31 goals, 10 assists in 34 games. Whilst the Portuguese Liga NOT is not the be-all and end-all for the barometer of whether you're a good player or not, it also is a good example of, you know what, if you can make it there to a top 5 league, you can potentially make the step across. The issue with him is 85 million euros, and Fabrizio today dismantled the idea that Chelsea could go in for him, because he said, no, Chelsea aren't interested in him. He's not on the list. He's not on the list. And for me, this is because we're getting Victor Osimhen. People don't want to accept it, but we are getting Victor Osimhen. We're not getting Victor Gyökeres. We will be going for Victor Osimhen. And I'm telling you now, they'll find a way to make the numbers work, and he will come in. And a lot of people now are telling me Victor Gyökeres is better than Victor Osimhen. And for me, I haven't seen enough of Victor Gyökeres to make that kind of statement. But I have seen enough of Victor Osimhen to know he's a banging player. Absolutely beautiful player. Like, he's a shooter first. And so is Victor Gyökeres, based on what I've seen. His first intention is, I'm going to get the shot off. So now you in the comments, let me know, right? Victor Osimhen or Victor Gyökeres? Which one would you prefer at Chelsea? Because the fees are going to be crazy for both. So there's no point saying, oh, one's cheaper. 85 million euros or 100 million euros. Bruv, you're spending enough money as it is. Come on. And you're spending in that kind of playing field. 15 million euros is nothing. All right, so now we're going to talk about the press conference and the preview for Brentford versus Chelsea, because this is a big game for Chelsea Football Club. We are 11th. I think that needs to be reminded. We win, we go to 8th. Positive vibes, right? Positive mindset. However, this is our game in hand, and we need to make sure that we are going to win this game, because we have got a horrible record at Brentford in recent weeks, or seasons, sorry. We have played 6 games, 2 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses. The last 4, no wins. That is bad. So we need to be open and honest, and I thought, you know what? Mauricio Pochettino's press conference today was very good. It was very powerful, it was insightful. And what did he say to us? Well, he said, Fofana's not going to be back till the end of the season. We know that. That's something we have to accept. We've got Thiago, Silva and Cucurella back. For me, this is important. I think we need more able bodies to rotate these players. We need more individuals that will support us. We need more individuals that will help us with whether it's experience, performances, and we need to regenerate some value in Cucurella. Because at this moment in time, I don't think he's worth anywhere near the money we spend for him. So if we're going to try to sell him, we need to see what he's worth. I think Thiago is a great person to have back in and around dressing room. Just sets certain standards, and he's just imperative to have in the squad. Other than that, Nkunku, well, Nkunku's not going to be back for a while. I think it's 3 to 4 weeks. He's pulled his hamstring this time around, which is a little bit frustrating. But Pochettino is saying, like, it's something that has happened. And for me, it's very frustrating to understand why this is happening. And Pochettino is in the same camp as, because he says, it's unlucky. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you reasons why this is not happening. And I'm not here to question my doctors. And I think this is a very responsible way of thinking. We cannot, as an institution, as a fan base, as soon as things go wrong, pretend we know more than the people that have doctorates, people that see these people's medical records, and get annoyed and take off frustration at them, saying, we need to sack them. I know it's the easy thing to say. I know it's the thing to say when we're frustrated. However, we need to be better than that. We're a great community here, and we need to think more critically and logically. At least that's what I thought we saw a really good side of Mauricio Pochettino today, and it's a man that wants to defend his players. And you know what? Pochettino tactically may be very frustrating for me. He might not do things in the manner that I prefer, in the manner that I think he should do it. but he protects these players. He really does. Honestly, the way he spoke about them today in numerous things, he said, I'm in a positive mood today. Look, the spring, like the sun's out, we need to be a bit more positive. I'm a lot more positive than I was a couple days ago. He made a joke about the whole Leeds game. Then he also said, look, we need to be winning more games, and finals aren't about what you deserved. And I think in 90 minutes, we deserved the victory. And you know what? I looked back over that game. 90 minutes, we deserved the victory. We had so many chances. We didn't take our chances. We win that game, and then we beat Leeds in the manner we beat Leeds with a last-minute winner. People are saying, you know what, we've turned a corner. I'm telling you, that would be the narrative. However, it's not, because it's what Poch said. Deserve doesn't mean anything when it comes to finals. You either won it or you didn't. Make up your mind. Very easy, right? And for me, it's the extra time that was the damage. And what Pochettino added was that he's got great players. They all have a togetherness. They met up later that evening and he explained to them what was going to happen. He told them that they have to be together. Players were getting ready to play injured. Some players were not fit enough to play and they said they wanted to play for against Leeds. And for me, you're seeing what he's doing. He says they're motivating each other, they're judging each other, and they're forcing each other to step up. And for me, I just think he deserves a lot of praise for that interview today. I was really impressed the way I walked away. A lot of you can say Alex is PR. No, I think he's a genuine bloke. He might not be a great football manager, but he comes across as a very genuine person. One part of the press conference that really made me laugh was he started making jokes because the person asked him, like, look, Conor Gallagher says he loves playing for you. He goes, not only for me, for Jesus. And he started naming a bunch of the coaching staff. And that made me really laugh because when you think about it, right? We always say Pochettino is not getting the best out of him. Why? Because he's ahead of the table. He is the Roman Reigns in this team, right? He is the front face of the thing. He's not Jey Uso. He's not Jimmy Uso. He's not Solo. He's not Paul Heyman. He is the face of the management team. And he's the one that gets the rewards and he's the one that will get the blame if things go wrong. And he said, look, I love Conor Gallagher being in my team. I think he's a very good player. I think he's contributing to the team. I think he's adding value. However, it's not my place to decide whether he gets a new contract or not. And this is a man that knows he ain't here next year. As things stand, Mauricio Pochettino is not here next year. Mauricio Pochettino is feeling that the grip he had on this job, the long-term build he believed he was going to get at Chelsea, is not there. And the only person he has to blame is himself, because he was the one that made the mistakes with, oh, you know what, let's stick with Levi at left back for a while. Oh, you know what, let's not drop Thiago yet. Oh, you know what, let's try and experiment with Ben Chilwell at left wing. He was the conservative one. He didn't make the bold decisions. And this needs to be a lesson for the next person that takes over. So whether Conor stays or not, of course Conor loves to play for the club. Who wouldn't love to play for Chelsea Football Club? Especially when you grow up as a fan. I would love to play for Chelsea. You would love to play for Chelsea. Even if you're a rival fan, you'd still want to play for Chelsea because you live in the best part of London. You live in the best city. And more importantly, you play for the pride of London. Chelsea Football Club. It's the simple aspect of it, man. So for me, I don't blame him. Of course, Conor wants to stay. And of course, Pochettino will say he's got nothing to do with it because he doesn't make the decisions. He is the coach. We need to accept that. Normally, I come out with a few negatives from a press conference. Well, I've got one. Because for me, this is really worrying, right? He is saying he knows who his keeper is going to be tomorrow. And this keeper needs to be told already, which has been done. He's let the keeper know. But more importantly, he won't tell us. If I see Robert Sanchez in goal tomorrow, I am going to be fuming and bricking it. I do not think Robert Sanchez is of the level. We saw half a season with Robert Sanchez and we saw half a season with Petrovic. I know which one I had no issues being the goalkeeper. The only problem I have with Petrovic is his kicking. But till the summer, I want bread and butter. I don't want to play out the back. I don't. I'm sorry. Just deal with the problems as they are. Like, just give me some fundamental skills. You give me the fundamental skills and I'm happy with it. This stat from Who Scored is very interesting, right? For keepers that have faced more than 50 shots on, like, Petrovic has got a 72% save rate. And I think Alisson's got in number 1 with 78. So it just tells you, I'm not saying he's anywhere as good as Alisson. Alisson with his feet is phenomenal. Alisson as a keeper is phenomenal, right? There's leagues above him. Petrovic needs to develop a lot to even get onto that level. However, it's just telling you now, like, sometimes you can look at some metric and say, you know what, he's performing with the big boys. Well done. And you know what, that's exactly what he's doing. So the reality is, I don't think we should be dropping my guy. I think my bro from Serbia needs to be putting on that jersey tomorrow and being our number one till the end of the season. Sanchez filled me with no confidence. If anything, Sanchez filled me with more anxiety before that game. The way he came out 3 minutes in with Gyökeres was absolutely disgusting. The way the ball gets crossed in and Donny is standing on his line like, the way the first goal went through basically his arm. I just think he's not a good goalkeeper. I don't think he's a good goalkeeper. I think he's a ball-playing keeper, and that's exactly what he is. Like, for him, oh, I can play a long pass though. Hey, did you see that little short pass? Did you see the little flick? No, big man, use your hands. Dive, okay? You're a keeper. The final bit that I'm going to talk about is Pochettino's reliance on Enzo and Caicedo really was highlighted. So Soraya asked him a very good question. Soraya is a really good journalist, by the way, for those of you that don't know, on Twitter, or X as it's called now. She's really good. So she asked good questions. She asked about why is it after halftime we tend to come out slow? Poch got defensive. When? She said after Leeds. It's like, oh, okay. He agreed. And she explained to him, which was very, very interesting for me, that the reality is we need to have players that are fresh. And part of the problem is that these players aren't fresh right now because Enzo and Caicedo have to play more games. And when Enzo and Caicedo play more games, they're not having time to recover. One solution is they're going to miss a training session here and there, and they're just going to develop. For me, this is a problem. You got Cesar Cassidy. You've got some youth team players. Use it. The problem is he can't because his job's riding on it. He knows how much of a problem he's in. And this is due to the fact that he's got no job security. And that's what I think it is. Because Lavia's out, Ogachuk was out, and Carney's out. He doesn't trust anyone else. That's his 3 backups for the season. Then he's going into his 7th, 8th, and 9th choice. He doesn't trust Cesar Cassidy. He doesn't trust anyone Golding from the midfield. He doesn't trust these kids to come in and do a reputable job, even though he got dunked on in extra time by kids. Which is ironic if you think about it, right? Because clubs here and there are playing all these youngsters, but he doesn't want to trust them. And then he's going to say that, oh, they're tired. Of course they're going to be tired of playing every minute of every game. Like, these Enzo and Caicedo aren't getting rotated, and I'm really scared that they're going to get injured. We need to balance these lot out. We need to spread their time out a little bit. But that's just personally me. So tomorrow's game, I hope we're going to get a victory. I am really reserved because this is Chelsea. I think Brentford haven't been good, and they got slapped by West Ham the other day. And now they're going to come out with some vim. They've got confidence against us. We're going to get chances. We take our chances, we win the game. That's as simple as how it's going to be. I think we will win the game. Like, the more I'm thinking about it, I think they're going to find a way to win this game. It's imperative that we win this game. We have to win this game. But it is what it is. I will be here for a review. For those of you that have commented on my community post where I shared out for some feedback, I would greatly appreciated it. Thank you very much. A lot of you came back with a lot of positive reviews, a lot of constructive criticism, which I really appreciate. I also have got a new ring light today, and I've got a new features on my camera. Let me know if the production level is better. I promise you guys this, I will continue to invest into this channel because I love it. I love what I built here. I'm really proud of what I built here, and that's the most important thing. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out.